please join me in welcoming Director Tom Moe.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you again, Director Ray. Really fine words and a reminder to all of us the history of that very solemn and beautiful flag in its own way. I appreciate all of the folks that are here, veterans around the room that you've been, or around the space here, you've been thanked already, but I want to add my thanks to take a moment out of your day to meet here on the peaceful fields of Licking County. They're peaceful because of the service that you gave. Well, I have to pause just for a minute because the special thanks goes to Ms. Maupin for coming up with this idea, pursuing it. We talked, we're going to make this happen, and boy, you talk about persistence, and this is the right thing to do. It was her vision that allowed us to now see today that we're going to have the POW-MIA flag flying across the state on our highways. So thanks a lot, Carolyn. It means a lot. This flag is a vivid symbol of our commitment to remember and account for our prisoners and missing in action. And she knows personally the pain of not knowing what has become of a loved one at war. Her son, Staff Sergeant Matt Maupin, was captured in Iraq in 2004, but his fate was unknown. He remained missing in action for nearly 4 years. Sadly, he had perished. Only his remains were recovered in 2008. Once again, Carolyn, thank you for your courage and steadfastness and for being here today. Steadfastness is a good word to describe the meaning of the POW-MIA flag. It symbolizes the steadfast resolve of the American people to never forget the men and women who sacrificed their freedom and their very lives to protect our freedom and our lives. It's especially fitting that we hold our ceremony this week. This Friday, September 16th, is National POW-MIA Recognition Day. The flag that reminds us of our POW and MIA service members was the dream in 1971 of the wife of an officer missing in action and designed by a World War II pilot, and then taken on by the National League of Families that my wife was very involved with, as was my mom. It's a symbol with deep personal meaning, so you can tell by that last comment. You might know, as Mike pointed out, that I was downed in 1968 and became a POW and spent over 5 years as a prisoner of the North Vietnamese Communists. For 2 years, no one in my family, my parents or my wife, no one knew if I was alive or dead. I was one of more than 2,500 service members who were simply listed as missing in action. But my family and many other Americans wore remembrance bracelets and supported us during that difficult time. And I still get letters from people, some of them were only children in those days, who wore that silver or that copper remembrance bracelet as a sign of support for us. They and our government kept the faith, and they never lost hope. Eventually, my family learned that I was a prisoner in the infamous Hanoi Hilton, and thankfully, I was able to come home in 1973. This flag reminds me of those dark days that I shared with my mates, some of whom died of their wounds or from torture. So I think it's somewhat fitting that we're sapping a few tears from heaven to share our moments of remembrance for them. But no matter the privations we suffered, we also never lost faith in our country or our family. We were not and would not be forgotten. Indeed, our faith was justified. Our family and friends never abandoned us. When we came home, we learned of this symbol and their remembrance and their resolve. That remembrance and resolve lives to this day. We never forgot Matt Maupin. And we continue to remember those who remain missing and work to bring about their repatriation, whether it be to find the 2 other Americans still listed as missing or captured in Iraq and Afghanistan, or each of the 1,700 still listed as missing in Vietnam. or the 8,000 still listed as missing from the Korean War, or the 79,000 still listed as missing from World War II. We will not forget or stop the search. At this very moment, teams of American specialists are investigating sites around the world in search of our missing comrades. Just this past July, a soldier from Cleveland killed in action in France in World War II was brought home and buried at Arlington Cemetery alongside his mates who he fought and died with. Yes, this flag is a visible symbol of our determination to never forget or give up the search for our prisoners of war or missing in action. They are truly not forgotten. Not by their families, not by their friends, not even by people that don't even know them, but who care about their fate, and certainly not by our government. The flag is a symbol that endures as a constant reminder of our own steadfastness, to keep the faith, never to forget, and never to leave anyone behind. God bless.